Good morning, friends. Welcome to our morning grounding and meditation. Hi, hello. Just wanted to check in with y'all this morning. This could be a horrible idea. So just so you know the setup that I have going here, I've got a webcam here. Good morning, Aaron Rausch. So if you haven't joined before, this is something I'm doing 7:30 in the morning every day for the foreseeable future, just a moment of grounding and connection as we move into our day. For me, it's the morning. For you, who knows when it is. And you can watch these live. If you're on Facebook, which is this camera, I also post these in my profile, and soon I'll be posting them on Instagram TV, which apparently is a thing. On my Story and Spirit account, so you can look at that. So we'll give people a couple minutes to filter in, because apparently that's how this works. And just take a moment to check in together. I've noticed a tendency in myself to just kind of be churning a little bit, like, oh, everything's fine, things are great. And then it's like, I feel reverberations of the grief or the turmoil that the situation we're in right now is bringing with it. And I find that when I'm able to sit with whatever feelings are alive for me and let them play all the way through, that can be very helpful. So one of the things I'm really hoping for in these morning groundings is to give us all the chance to let whatever is alive in us play through. So let's get started. You may pop in the middle. This will be available whenever as a resource for you. So to start, we'll just sit in a way that feels comfortable. I'm on a couch on my shorts, so my legs dangle, so I'm just going to cross my legs. And move my water bottle. And let's bring some attention to the breath. Being very aware as we inhale that this is us inhaling. And very aware as we exhale that this is us exhaling. If you want to, you can really start to enjoy the sense of expansion on the inhale and the gentle sense of release and relaxation on the exhale. And we can start to gently, consciously elongate the breaths. Especially the exhale, it's almost like that can be luxurious. There's no rush on it. And then together, let's just take a nice deep breath in. And let it out with a gentle sigh. And with that, we'll invite our awareness a little bit more into our physical bodies. Just allowing gravity to work a little bit more on your muscles and your bones and your organs. It's as if everything as a unit is surrendering more to the earth. Noticing that the more weight we surrender, then the more support the earth can send up to us, almost like we're being cradled. And from that place of breathing into surrender a little bit, we'll just do a very light scan of the body, starting right above the crown of the head, And just working your way down with a kind of gentle, compassionate awareness. Noticing as you scan through the forehead and the jaw, where feels open this morning and where may feel constricted, where you may feel tightness or where you may feel really loose. And sometimes just by bringing attention to those areas, they start to open up a little bit. And it's a fun practice as we do this to greet each part of ourselves without judgment, with unconditional acceptance. Like I'm detecting a little bit of tension in my throat. And instead of saying, oh gosh, I have to change that to be super spiritual, I'm just saying, oh, I'm a little tense in my throat this morning. That's interesting. And moving down through the belly and the hips, the knees, all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Great, and just take a nice deep breath in. Let it out with a gentle sigh. And with that, we can start to set down roots. So sending with your imagination little tendrils of energy very gently down through whatever building you're in into the soil beneath us. And it's as if through those roots we're all interconnected with each other and with the trees and with everything that has come before us and will come after us. All gets to connect deep in the center of the earth, through the soil, through the interconnected root structures. And so as we bring in that awareness, as we breathe, we can become aware that we're all breathing together as one collective, interconnected organism. Because we're interconnected, if you're feeling tension or anxiety or fear or grief, if it feels okay to you, you can release that on the exhale into the collective, and we will all metabolize it for each other. And even if as I say that, I'm detecting grief and fear in my own body that wasn't there before. And that's okay, because on the exhale, I can just release it back down into the collective. All right, everybody take a nice deep breath in. And release. And from this place of connection, what I'll invite us all to do is just connect with a moment at any time in your life where you experienced a deep sense of joy. Just a moment where you felt that sense of openness and buoyancy that comes when we are fully inhabited by this spirit or energy of joy. And it could be something as simple as the first taste of something delicious, gazing into the eyes of someone you love, the moment when something you've planted in the earth sprouts up through the soil, whatever it is for you. And allow yourself, as we invite in connection with this moment, to really connect with any physical sensations that come along with it, any images, any smells, tastes, sounds. And notice maybe how connecting with this moment of joy shifts your physical being and even your emotional being, right? So I'm feeling an opening in my heart. I'm feeling kind of a call to sit up straighter, to allow that energy to move through my body. So notice what, if anything, happens for you. And as we connect with this moment of joy, what we can do is imagine, I like to imagine there's a volume knob right in front of me, and I like to turn it up a little bit so I can actually ask the feelings of joy associated with this moment to become more vivid or intense. So if it's at a 7, I can turn it up to a 9. Or for you, if it's at a 2, maybe turning it up to a 3 feels right now. We're not trying to blow out our joy circuits. It's just interesting to experiment with turning it up a little. Good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath in together. And on the exhale, we're going to imagine sharing that joy with the collective. We're going to push it or allow it to move out into the kind of interconnected root structure that we were playing with earlier. So here you go. Staying connected with that moment of joy. So we can just take a nice deep breath in and share it with the collective. And again, staying connected with the essence of that joy. Deep breath in and release. Beautiful. Beautiful. And so notice that we can receive that joy from each other as we give it. So again, there's this sense of exchange that happens between us. So let's just take a deep breath together and release it. And what I'll do is at the end of every one of these, I'm going to pull a card from the Wild Unknown Archetype deck by Kim Krans. And I'm going to hold a question, and the question that immediately came up for me is, where today can we experience and give more joy to the world? And the way these archetypes work, if you're not familiar with archetypes, these are universal energies. All of them are around us and inside of us at all times. And so they just provide a lens through which to consider that question, which today is, where can I experience and give joy to the collective, to the community? So this is the card that wants to be pulled. And I don't know this one at all, so I'm going to have to look it up. The card is Aletheia. Aletheia. I'll show it to my Instagram friends. Aletheia. And the number card is a really big Roman numeral, 50, 70, 85, I think. Let's see if I can find it, and I'll read it. LLLXX. Towards the end of the book. So Aletheia, again, here's the image. And I'll attach this in the Facebook comments on this. So Aletheia is truth. Our soul recognizes the truth. When someone speaks it, a cool wave of relief washes over the room, and all the facts and figures in the world fall by the wayside. Such is the power of Aletheia. It has an undeniable resonance that goes beyond the rational. We can also recognize Aletheia by its contagiousness. When we hear someone speak the truth, we see the truth within ourselves and are more likely to tell our own story. The Aletheia card requires us to step towards an act of truth. This might look like a conversation, a gesture, a poetic act, or a ritual that honors the unveiling of what has been concealed. Reclaiming your own truth is a way to reclaim your vital energy, health, and sense of belonging in the world. Truth has its own wings. Set it free. When in the The light aspect, truth has clarity, revelation, and disclosure. When dark, a tendency towards distortions, gaslighting, and excuses. There's a lot that she writes on the sides of the pages. That's where I kind of go squinty sometimes. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, I'll post this in the Facebook comments for those who are joining on Facebook. So just reflecting for a moment on that and the question of where can we experience and give joy, the very direct answer that this card indicates is through truth today. There's a lot of information swimming around out there and being cast at us. One moment we shouldn't take ibuprofen, and then maybe it's okay, and maybe we can be in gatherings of two, or maybe no one. There's just a lot of information, and unfortunately a lot of distortions. So the invitation I'm taking from this conversation today is, where can I find little kernels of truth, and in the center of that truth find joy, and from the center of that joy find the ability to share that with folks and other beings, peoples and other beings out in the world. Boom. Thank you so much for watching this. We'll end with 3 deep breaths as always. And I'll see you again tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. for this little practice. Thank you so much for being a part of it. So with this first breath we'll take, we're just going to connect with our bodies again, right? Just imagining oxygen flooding into all of the cells. Here we go. Deep breath in. And release. And with the second breath we'll take, we'll bring awareness that air is recycled. The molecules that we breathe in are recycled. So with each breath, we're actually in communication with each other and in communication with the greater collective. It's a constant state of exchange. So deep breath in and release. And finally, with the final breath, just acknowledging that molecules are just reconfigured over time, right? Nothing is matters neither created nor destroyed. So as we breathe this time, just noting that we're part of an infinitely unfolding story, and each breath is just a small part of it. And this moment that we're moving through, with all of its intensity and discomfort and uncertainty, is a very small part of an ongoing conversation that we're all participating in. So deep breath into that and release. That's it. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day.